This video is going to be a little bit longer because there's just so many things that I need to explain to you to make your apartment search a better experience in China. You have two routes to take when you are going to China and are going to find an apartment. The first one is to just get it for free from your employer, and your employer will tell you that before you go to China. And the second way is basically to find it and pay for it yourself. Now I need to go into each one in detail because each one's very important. So the simplest way and the cheapest way for you is to get the apartment for free from your school. And they will tell you this in the job description that the apartment is provided. Housing is provided. And make sure you get the exact details on that, because some of them can be a little bit sneaky or a little bit tricky, where they might say the room is provided, but maybe you share the living room and kitchen with other people, right? Or maybe they say they will give you a housing allowance of some amount of money, right? But that means you need to go and find the apartment yourself to live in. So if you're looking for the simplest way, the simplest way is that they provide the housing for you. Usually it's on campus, on the school campus, or somewhere near the campus. And your apartment there with the school should have internet. They should be providing that for you. They should have all of the appliances, such as refrigerator and washing machine, and maybe an electric kettle, sometimes a rice cooker, and the basic appliances, air conditioner, it should have as well. And furniture should be there. And some of them give a computer too, some of them don't. I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's not a big deal. Most people have their own computer. And also check to see how much they are willing to pay for electric and water. Sometimes they pay for those for you. Sometimes there's a limit for the electric, especially in the summer. The air conditioner can get quite expensive. They might only pay 200 renminbi or 300 renminbi for that for you. So if the school does provide it, just make sure you check all those details, get it clear, and ask them how many bedrooms is it, how many bathrooms. Ask them to send you pictures of the living space before you go there, and also see if you can contact some of the international teachers there and ask them about the living there, what it's like. Now, if your employer does give you a housing allowance, which they should at least, or maybe they don't give you anything, you just get the basic salary, then you're going to be on your own to find an apartment. So what are some of the things you can do to find an apartment? What are some of the things to look for? What's the procedure like? I'm going to explain all those things to you now. First of all, if you can, ask your coworkers who their agents are. How did they find an apartment? Where did they find an apartment? This is one way to find out. Not all of them will be living in the same type of place that you want to live in. So make sure you get a whole bunch of people with a lot of, ask them who their landlord is, ask them who their agent is, real estate agent, and see see a lot of different places. Go look at a lot of places. Don't take the first place that you see. Look at a lot of places, and then you can make your own decision. Now, when you're looking around, make sure you're very clear about the kind of place you want to live. If you have a place that's downtown where there's a lot of activity, maybe a lot of foreign people live there, maybe there's just some tourist places, restaurants, and places that a lot of Western people like to go to, some places like this, they make the price more expensive. Some landlords, they know that foreigners want to live in that area, so they will make the price more expensive. If you don't care very much about living in a place that has lots of Westerners, then you should be getting the same prices as everybody else. And one way to do this is just go to real estate agencies there, and you'll see them as you're walking around. They have pictures of different houses that they're selling. If you can read Chinese characters, that's great. You can see how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many living rooms, and you can see the price. Each city is different for the price. If the large city, more expensive for the apartment. Many apartments do come furnished, so that's good. All the apartments that I lived in came sometimes 100% furnished, sometimes it had some furniture, but I needed to get more. And so you don't really have to worry too much about furniture. Make sure that you go with a reliable real estate agency. The best ones will probably have the people wearing some kind of uniform. If not, then that's okay. Try to go to one that's good, and if you're not sure, just go to another one. The bad ones are people who want you to pay them a little bit of money to show you the apartments. They do this trick, maybe it's just 20 renminbi or 30 renminbi, something like that, maybe like $3 to $5 in American money. And they do that because they want you to feel like you have to pay the whole thing. You have to take the apartment. Maybe subconsciously you say, well, I paid a little bit for them to show me the apartment, and I took the time to see it, so I feel like I should take it. Don't do that. Don't ever give someone money to show you places. All of the real estate agencies that are reliable, all of the agents that are reliable, do not ask for that money there. Okay, it's the same in the United States. You don't pay to look at houses. And so, when you do find a place that you like, okay, you're going to need your passport. And when you find the place that you like and you want to live there, and you sign the contract, before you sign the contract, the real estate agent will usually ask the landlord to go with you to sign the contract, and you will be there with the real estate agent, landlord, and you sign the contract. If the landlord lives in a different city, then maybe there's some other arrangement. But up front, you really do have to give a large sum of money. So make sure before you go to China, you do have a decent amount of money saved up so that you can invest it in getting started with paying rent. So the first thing you need to pay is the real estate agency fee, which is a percentage. It is less than 1 month's rent. I forget the actual percentage, but you will need to pay that. You will also need to pay 1 month of deposit money, and then you will need to pay 2 or 3 months rent. Usually I paid 3 months rent, and generally speaking, you will pay the rent every 3 months, not every month. And I think they do this just to save time, just to make it easier, and also to prevent people from just leaving. So you will need to have that chunk of money ready to get started in living in an apartment. Some things about the types of apartments. There are studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, etc. And there are some arrangements where you will have multiple people living in the same apartment. So for example, you will have a shared living room and then maybe 3 separate bedrooms with your own door. But in that case, you would share 1 bathroom, share 1 kitchen, 1 living room. And sometimes what happens is all 3 of the people who live there, they don't know each other. They are strangers, and I remember sometimes, seeing some apartments where I would have to move in with a couple of strangers there, and I wasn't really looking to do that. I wanted to have my own place with my own privacy, to make my own decisions. And so if you find some place that you're not satisfied with, just keep looking. There are so many options around. And also make sure you feel comfortable with your landlord before you do decide to commit to living there at that place, because if you have any problems with your landlord, then there's going to be a lot of trouble for you living there. And also make sure your real estate agent is someone else that you can talk to for help if you have problems with the apartment as well, because maybe they can help you. That's another thing. If there is no real estate agent and you're just renting from the owner, yes, you don't pay that real estate agency fee up front. That's true. But you don't know about the landlord. If the landlord is bad to you, you don't have someone to go to for help. And so it's really up to you with that. Just make sure that you choose something that's good, something reliable, that'll suit you for your needs while you're in China.